I watched Goat. Hey! What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm giving you my honest thoughts on the new Sony animation movie Goat. Just saw it in theaters, and I had to check this one out for multiple reasons. Number one, Sony Pictures Animation made the Spider-Verse films. They also made K-pop Demon Hunters, which I have yet to see. I know, I'm ashamed of it. And also it stars McLaughlin as Will, the main character of the film. David Harbour also lends his voice to a character in the film. So as a Stranger Things fan, I had to check this out and support those actors from the cast of the show that I love so much. But I went in hoping for a fun time, and I got a lot of good things to say. Before I get into it, hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts on Goat. Are you going to go see this one in theaters or not? And of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of now 200,000 subscribers here on the channel. It mean quite a bit. Having walked out of this movie less than an hour ago, I can confidently say it's my favorite of 2026. I've now seen two 2026 releases, so take with that what you will. But the biggest praise I can give Goat is that it feels like a movie I would have loved when I was a kid. These are the kinds of movies that kind of inspire hope in the younger generation. And I really can't get enough of a good underdog story, okay? As a sports fan myself, I was eating this movie up. McLaughlin plays the character Will. He's this young goat who has dreams, big aspirations of becoming a professional rollerball player, you know, this world's version of basketball, and every character in the film is a different animal. Now, I haven't seen Zootopia, which I know probably sounds insane to a lot of you because it is such a high-grossing film, and the sequel just did almost $2 billion, but I imagine this is kind of what the world of Zootopia is like. However, you got a young goat. He's a small, as they call him. He's not meant to play rollerball. He can't make it in the league. It has all the setup for an awesome underdog story, okay? Steph Curry, who's a real-life NBA star and future Hall of Famer, produced the film, and I feel like he had a lot of input in the story because in many ways it kind of reflects his own personal journey. If you're familiar with Steph Curry, he is short by NBA standards, and he always kind of had that underdog mantra. Well, the main character Will, I view as being based directly off of him, and in many ways I feel like this could be a loose retelling in, you know, animated animal world of Steph Curry's journey in the NBA. But no, I'm here for an underdog story, like I said. I'm also just a fan of the genre when it comes to sports dramas, and so this had everything right up my alley. I have to give props to McLaughlin for bringing it. He brought this character Will to life. You buy into this kid who has a dream, and there's a strong mother-son relationship that really is the emotional core of the film, right? The character of Will and how he looks up to his mom, but how his mom always believed in him and was his #1 supporter from the get-go. And so he never lost that dream. He never let his hopes in life fade out because his mom always believed in him, and so he believed in himself. It's got a great setup. There's a very defined 3-act structure, and so as the movie progresses, it flows very well. Clocks at an hour and 40 minutes, not a second wasted in my opinion. And something I do have to tip my hat to this movie for is embracing modern trends without being cringe. I feel like that's something that a lot of animated films or just films targeted towards younger kids and teens fail. They'll like go the cringe route where they have like older adult characters like dabbing or doing old cringe things. You know, I don't want to get into it. TikTok dances, whatever it may be. This movie like seamlessly incorporates modernized lingo and trends from social media, again, without being cringe. For example, there's a character named Maine who's like an established player, and in the first act of the movie, he's doing like 1v1s down at the local court, and so the main character Will goes and faces off against him, and I won't say what the result of that matchup is, but afterwards, there's a viral video going around on TikTok that kind of embraced just modern trends and lingo. If you read the comment section of like the live stream or, you know, of the video, it would be like, just put the fries in the bag. Like, they've embraced that kind of modern lingo without it being cringe. There were even some moments that got me laughing. I was like, you know what? If I was a kid, I'd be like, this is awesome to see represented on the big screen. My inside joke, the meme I have with my friends, like, they're kind of embracing that for a younger generation. And so I try and watch this movie through the lens of someone who is, you know, 10 to 15 years old, and I'd probably be over the moon about this movie. Again, still highly enjoyed it. It's my favorite of the year. You know what you're getting, and that's totally fine. You have a character in Jet who's basically the LeBron James of this story, been in the league for 15 years, a future Hall of Famer for rollerball, but doesn't have a ring. And then you got this young hotshot coming up in Will who has hopes, and they kind of clash. They're at odds. So there's a lot of tropes and sort of cliches in this movie that you've seen before, right? If you've watched Cars 3 or any sort of, you know, movie where there's an old star kind of fading out and a new star on the rise, you know what you're getting into. So there's an element of predictability predictability to this movie, but that never once takes away from the emotional impact of the story. I was on board. I was fully bought in, and there were moments by the time the third act rolled around where I was like, oh my gosh, like I have chills right now. I'm nerved up. I'm anxious. What's going to happen? Of course, ultimately, you probably know where this story heads. You've probably seen it before, but I'm not here to like hold that over the movie's head. Of course, there's a familiarity with this story. We've been getting these sports stories for years. You can only do so much with the underdog mentality, but I think they actually use it to its favor. My only minor knock at the movie, if I had to have one, would probably be that there is a bit of predictability to it, but mainly some major moments are rushed through in the third act. I get it. It's an hour and 40-minute movie. You got to kind of speed run some things near the end, but there's like 2 moments in particular where I'm like, oh, this is like a low point. I'd like to sort of marinate with these characters a bit more, feel what they're feeling, but it felt like we kind of sped run through that just to get back on track. And I understand it. Ultimately, that's not a huge gripe. It's just something that I noticed when I was watching through. I also wanted to shout out, on a high note, I thought the music in the film was excellent. Felt very Spider-Verse, like original music that was made for this film or covers of pre-existing songs. It all fit in really well. And there's even like some cool hip-hop music featured, original music for the film. You'll see what I mean within context, but if you're a fan of, I guess we'll say, diss tracks, you'll probably get a kick out of something here. So I was on board for the ride this movie took me on, and of course, I gotta shout out the animation itself. Sony's doing something right now that not many other studios are. It doesn't feel like they're just kind of plugging and chugging or filling out a template. They're really giving artists and animators a true voice and a place for that to be seen with their creativity. It's flowing. It feels like this movie was in development for 5 years, and I mean that with the utmost respect. It feels like they spent so much time on every single frame. I feel similarly about the Spider-Verse films. I imagine when I watch K-pop Demon Hunters, I will feel similarly about that animation. So all around, this is a gorgeous looking film that has a very inspiring main message about chasing your dreams and believing in yourself, something that is inherently relatable to every single individual on planet Earth who will watch this movie. So I think automatically you can root for this main character and Will. You're on board with this story and you can be invested. Again, it feels like a vintage animated film from the early 2000s that I would have watched on DVD ad nauseum as a kid. So it's something that's right up my alley. I adored it. If you're a fan of basketball, if you're a fan of that inspirational, uplifting, motivational underdog story, definitely check out GOAT. But that's kind of just my thoughts rambling right here. Really enjoyed the movie. I'm at like a 4.25 out of 5 if I had to give it a star rating. It's my favorite movie of the year. Again, I've only seen 2. I plan to watch a few more this weekend, kind of ramp up my 2026, not 2025, 2026 movie watching. But what do you guys think of GOAT? Have you seen it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you like these sort of my thoughts, rapid fire videos on movies, I could probably do this more often where, hey, I just sit down and I'm spewing and I'm letting like the word vomit flow. This is initially what I think of the movie. Haven't even written any notes down. We're just going with it. I might do more, so let me know what you think. But that is going to do it. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.